Thinking English also helps to improve your listening skills. When your brain is used to processing English thoughts, it becomes easier to understand what others are saying. You're not just listening to words anymore. You're connecting ideas and understanding them in the context of the language. This means you will be able to follow conversation more easily and even pick up on more subtle details in what people are saying. So in short, thinking English helps you to speak more fluently, respond faster in conversations, build more confidence in your speaking ability, improve your listening and comprehension skills. Now that we have talked about why it's important to think in English, let's take a closer look at something really interesting: the connection between language and thoughts. You might be wondering, what does thinking in English really mean? Does it just mean using English words in my head? Or is there something more to it? Well, here's the thing. Our thoughts are shaped by the language we use. In other words, the way we think is often influenced by the language we are using at the time. When you are speaking in your native language, your brain automatically uses the words and phrases you are familiar with. But when you switch to a new language like English, the way you think also changes. You begin to see the world through the lens of that language. For example, let's say you're describing a beautiful sunset in your native language. You might have a special word or phrase to describe how the color looks or how the scene makes you feel. But in English, you may have to describe it in a different way. The English language may not have the exact same words as your native language, which can make you think about things from a new perspective. This is important because thinking English helps you connect ideas more easily, for you are not just trying to translate or find the right words. You're experiencing the world and forming your thoughts in the language itself. It makes expressing yourself much easier. Let me give you an example. When you are in a conversation with someone in English and you are already thinking in English, your brain doesn't need to stop and translate. You'll naturally understand what the other person is saying and you can respond without hesitation. You're no longer trying to convert everything from your own language to English. Instead, your brain is directly processing English thoughts and ideas. Another way to think about this connection is like a puzzle. Each language is like a different way of solving the puzzle of life. When you think in language, you start to see pieces of puzzle come together more smoothly. You will start recognizing patterns in how English works, and that helps you use the language more effectively. And here is a fun research shows that people who think in the language they are speaking tend to be more fluent and better at problem solving. So, the more you think in English, the easier it will be to express yourself clearly and quickly. In short, the connection between language and thought is powerful. When you think in English, your brain becomes more flexible. You'll be able to process and share ideas faster, and you will be much more confident when you speak. All right. We have talked about why thinking in English is important, and we have looked at how it connects your brain and your ability to speak. Now, let's get into the practical steps we can take to start thinking in English.